Okay, so I realize I may look rough in this video. Um, I still need to get up and kind of brush my hair and stuff, but this was a thought I had going on in my mind. And if I don't get it out now, I probably won't remember to later. I'll try not to make this too long. But on Sunday, this past weekend, I needed to go to the emergency room. I knew that I was having a stomach issue, which turned out to be a hernia. Um, not it's not serious or anything as of this point, so no need to really worry. Um, I'm gonna try to make some diet changes and stuff like that and see if I can't turn it around from the research I've read. But this has nothing to do with that issue. Um, my issue right now, as I think about it, just like anyone else, when you go into the emergency room, you tell them, my nose itches. You, they ask and you tell them about other health issues going on so that they know your medical history. Well, of course, I told them of the fibromyalgia, the lupus, and the PTSD. Well, somewhere in the middle of the visit, some of the visit's still kind of foggy for me. Somewhere in the middle of the visit, a I believe she said she was a social worker came in and wanted to know about my treatment or whatever for PTSD. Obviously, it was clear I had Bones with me, that I have a service dog for my PTSD. He was more than welcome. They were great as far as he's concerned. I loved how the doctors handled him. Most of the time, they would come in and kind of greet him, ask, if they were allowed to pet him, yada yada. I believe everybody that came into the room let him sniff their hand, which to me was great. He stayed on the bed with me between my legs the whole time, or up on my lap, one or the other, because he knew I was uneasy. However, when she came in and asked about that and started not so much grilling as it was questioning, where I get counseling or whatever, which right now at this point in time, I'm not under any counseling. I need to be, and I know this. Um, but I just kind of get tired of the stigma with it. Um, I went for a long time. They didn't even diagnose it as PTSD for a long time. For a long time, they kept telling me it was bipolar disorder. And they tried me on a ton of different meds. None of them worked. And eventually, when they sent me for a second consult, that was when they discovered that I had been misdiagnosed and it was PTSD, which once I had that diagnosis, everything kind of clicked and made sense for me. Because the bipolar didn't make a lot of sense. Even though I go through a lot of bouts of depression anymore, the PTSD makes more sense for me than the bipolar. That's not saying anything wrong about bipolar disorder at all. I've been around many people with it. I just knew that when it came to people who were bipolar and me, that there weren't all that many similarities. So, I guess what I'm saying is that even though they didn't mean to, I felt like I was kind of being attacked. They gave me paperwork about a couple different counseling places and such. Asked me if I felt like I was going to hurt myself, yada yada. Said that if I ever felt like I was going to, here's numbers to call, that kind of thing. And I try to assure people that as long as I have Bones, and this is going to sound really kind of bad, but as long as I have him, I don't think I'm going to do anything to hurt myself. Not in a end of my life type of way, anyway. Um, he has me to depend on. I'm the only one he has to depend on. So I have to make sure I'm around to take care of that. But I just get tired of the stigma with the PTSD. I mean, it's getting old at this point. and I'm not sure. I guess the only thing I can do is roll with it. Maybe go ahead, and I know I need to get counseling. There's a couple of people in my life that have told me that I need to do something about this because I used to be under treatment for it, and I just got so frustrated. And now I'm at the point to where I'm frustrated again, but it's not so much that I'm afraid of seeking help, it's because I don't want to start over again. Starting over with new doctors is a huge fear for me. Um, Having to go through the whole story again and tell them everything that's happened in my life and all that. It's not easy, and I usually end up having more flashbacks and breakdowns and everything after starting care with a new doctor for that very reason. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to deal with it at this point. I've got some numbers to call, obviously. I do think the paperwork, though, was left behind at the emergency room, which I really don't care because I didn't want it to begin with. But it's just getting frustrating for me. There's things I want to do, and I can't do them. And, it just seems like more and more keeps piling up. Past few days, I've been waking up at a decent time, going to bed at a halfway decent time, taking a nap somewhere in the middle of the day, which doesn't make me happy, but I'm kind of out of spoons at that point, so I've got to get some rest. The fibro has been kicking in really high. Um, I've got a trip coming up, so I'm wanting to, I think the next few days, besides getting ready for that, I really think I'm just going to be crashing a lot because I've got to kind of save up to be ready for that, if you can save up spoons anyway. It's been 2 years since I've taken any kind of trip, so we'll see what happens. But that was just my short little whatever about a frustration having to deal with the whole medical issues and medical industry anymore. Is that I get tired of people singling me out. I understand that I have a service dog, and maybe people, to them, that's a red flag that, hey, major case or something. I don't know. But he's part of what makes me able to function somewhat normally. And without him, I wouldn't be able to do that. And I think people kind of look at it the wrong way of, she's so severe that she needs him. But yeah, that's kind of the case, but he makes it to where I'm almost less severe. Except for when he's not there, then I key back up. So anyway, I'm going to end this for now. If you have any thoughts or comments on this, please put them down. I'm still trying to figure out how to sort all this out myself, and I know a lot of this was probably a lot of jumble. My mind's not processing things right now, and verbally getting things out is not the easiest thing for me. So anyway, have a great day. I hope part of this made some sense, and I look forward to any comments. Thank you.